Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, thank you for joining me and welcome to what might very possibly be the very last video that I put out before I give birth to our baby girl. I honestly didn't even know if I was going to make it to be able to do this final kind of third trimester update video. I did this kind of update after my first trimester and my second trimester, so I will link a little thingy here so you can check those videos out if that's something that you're interested in. But yeah, the third trimester has just been unlike anything I've experienced yet in this pregnancy. In this video, I'm going to share with you what exactly those symptoms, changes that I've been experiencing are, as well as the things that have kind of helped me survive this third trimester. And notice I'm saying survive and not like thrive, because the third trimester is honestly like no joke. This has been really tough. So I hope you guys can either learn about the third trimester or take some tips from this video. All right, before I get into all of this third trimester stuff, I just want to say thank you so much to everyone who has subscribed. A lot of you guys came from TikTok after I shared my proposal story, which I will put here if you guys haven't seen it yet. I'm so happy that I was able to make that video and share that memory with you guys. So thank you so much for following along and joining and supporting this channel. If you guys haven't done so already, I would love for you guys to subscribe to my channel and join me on this next adventure chapter of my life as a new mom. And as well, I share a lot of things on my TikTok and Instagram, so you guys can follow along wherever you like. And thank you for being here. Okay, the first change that I want to talk about is the most obvious because it's the growth of your belly. It's the most noticeable thing that changes. It's pretty crazy how much your skin will stretch and grow. So I actually filmed this yesterday, so I'm going to share with you guys a little bump update to see what my belly is looking like. And I am currently 38 weeks and 2 days pregnant. I am under 2 weeks away from my due date, which is July 12th. Okay, so as you can see, my belly is pretty big now and I still have that linea negra. So my line is so weird. It's not perfectly straight. I've seen really nice ones that are literally just straight lines, but mine actually kind of like goes around my belly button. I'm gonna show you guys because me and my husband swear that it looks like this alien character, some sort of like cartoon from a kid's show that we both seem to remember, but we cannot for the life of us, after Googling and everything, we cannot figure out who this alien cartoon is, where it's from. I'm starting to think we both just imagined it in our heads, but if you guys know, I would love to know. It literally looks like my belly button right now. So it's literally like as if this is his little antenna, this is his head, and my belly button's the eyeball, and then this is his body. It's really weird, I know. And you're probably wondering what this is here. This is a scar. I'm just gonna put my belly away for a second. So I actually burned myself on my belly because I'm, really smart and I like to take things out of the oven in just, a sports bra. So I was actually baking bread one night and I baked my bread on one of those like stones. So when I took it out of the oven, spatial awareness is like non-existent for me. I've never been good at spatial awareness, and now that I'm pregnant, it just does not exist anymore. So I hit my belly with the plate, and like even for 5 seconds, it just singed me. It seems to be really like on the surface and it's healing up really well, so not a big deal. But this third trimester especially, I've been very, very clumsy. So with all of this belly growth in the third trimester, there are 2 things that I've been doing that I have found really helped me. I don't have any stretch marks, which I'm like really proud of. I know it's really silly because stretch marks, no stretch marks, who really cares? Like, this is just a miracle. It really doesn't matter. I know this is something that I don't know if you really can control, but I feel like there are things you might be able to do to help with stretch marks. So the two things that I've been doing. Number one, I have been applying body oils onto my stomach. So not creams, but oils. And I just find that they penetrate the skin so much more because I learned that stretch marks happen quite deep below the surface. So a lot of creams are just very topical and they don't penetrate that deeply into your skin. So oils really do the job, and I have honestly noticed such a difference with the texture of my skin. I feel like because I'm putting so many oils on my belly skin is so soft and smooth and elasticy. So I'm going to share with you my little oil collection. I for sure use it once a day. Sometimes I will do twice a day, like morning and night. Okay, the first one I have is the bio oil. It's a really popular one. I find it works really well. The next one that I love to use is just straight up jojoba oil. I think I said that right. Then I've been using some of this rosehip oil. I just have a tiny little bottle, so I'm not using a whole ton of it. And I've heard that rosehip oil is really good at penetrating like really deep into your skin. And this one I got recently, I actually use it on my face every night, but I've been randomly putting it on my belly as well. It's vitamin E oil mixed with some safflower seed oil. All right, the second thing that I have been doing for my belly to help with stretch marks, but also just comfort of like the heaviness of your belly and the weight of it and the pressure it puts on your back, your hips, your legs, everything. I actually shared this in my second trimester update. It is the belly band that I got off of Amazon. So I'll just show you guys again. I'll just put it over my skirt here. I wear it under my clothes and it just provides me that support. So I just fit it like right under the belly, and then I will just Velcro it behind, and I have it in the back higher so that it's actually like holding the bottom of the front of my belly. And I'll wear this under anything. I'm wearing a lot of dresses this summer and skirts, so you don't even see it. And this has honestly been a savior in this last trimester. And I just feel like having that extra support maybe helps with stretch marks. I don't know, but yeah, those are the two things that have helped me in this last trimester. Okay, the next thing I want to talk about is sleeping. I was sleeping so nicely in my second trimester, and now it's like my least favorite part of the day. I hate going to bed because I know I'm gonna be uncomfortable no matter what I do. So every night it's kind of like hit or miss. I set up my bed like slightly different every single night. Some nights are better than others. Now that I'm like really close to giving birth, I don't think anything I could do would make me more comfortable. But at the beginning of the third trimester, when you're still not too big, something that has been a really big savior for me is this gigantic wedge pillow. It looks like a giant wedge of cheese. So this is amazing for keeping you on your side. They recommend that you sleep on your left side. I kid you not, I have honestly, like, this is gonna sound crazy, but I've literally slept on my left side for like the majority of this pregnancy because I read that the baby gets the most like blood flow and nutrients if you're on your left side. As well, it's really good for like comfort and digestion, just in general. So I have like religiously been sleeping on my left side to the point that I've caused myself a lot of hip pain, knee pain, all on my left side because every night all that weight and pressure is going onto my left side. In this third trimester, I have been switching sides in the night. I don't stay on my right side too much. I like literally get nervous when I'm on my right side for too long and I need to switch back to my left. So anyways, I mean, that's probably just me and I'm totally crazy. My doctor told me it's fine to sleep on either side, but this really helps to just prevent you not from rolling over onto your back, which is a big no-no. I do not have one of those like giant pregnancy pillows, the ones that like hug you, but the thing that's been helping me are I just have a lot of these small pillows, I have another one. I have found that having a lot of these like tiny, smaller, squishy pillows, I can just kind of like customize where I want them, where I need support under my back or my hip or between my knees, like wherever. I've never tried a pregnancy pillow, so that might be awesome and it might work for you. But this has just been kind of what's been working for me, generally speaking. And I just want to mention that, so obviously discomfort is a big thing in sleep, but the other thing is I get up like 3-4 times a night to use the washroom. My bladder is like so squished, holds nothing. And also I get so dehydrated at night. So like no matter how much water I drink during the day, I have a big glass of water next to my bed every single night. So literally I like get up to go to use the washroom, then I take like a really good sip of water, and I do this consistently throughout the night. It really sucks because you can't just like drink a whole bunch of water because you literally will not be able to sleep. So yeah, it's kind of a big struggle, and it just doesn't seem like there's much you can do about that. The next thing that I have noticed the most really in this like last month of my pregnancy is swelling. I've been super lucky up until this point that swelling has not been an issue for me, but then it just started recently, and I get swelling in my hands as well as my feet and the lower part of my leg. And I'll even get these like white little spots appear when I've been on my feet too much and I know it's time to like sit and put my feet up. I'll notice those like little spots. They go away if you kind of like massage them out, but I didn't really know what they were at first. And unfortunately with the swelling, there's literally not much you can do. Obviously stay hydrated, but the best thing you can do is just sit with your feet up or your hands up. Oh, and a little tip, before you even start swelling, just stop wearing your wedding bands if you have them, or any other ring jewelry, because really don't want to get into the situation where it's just stuck on you and then you'll have to get it cut off or something. So at the beginning of the 3rd trimester, I just stopped wearing any jewelry on my hands. Okay, this next one is really funny because I didn't even realize I had this. I think I've had it for a while, but I only realized it very recently, and that is the melasma that can appear on your skin. I have struggled with acne for like most of my life, and I've always had those like little brown spots that acne can leave behind. So I've always dealt with those. There's always like some part of my skin that is healing and those little scars are fading. So it's really funny because for the longest time I had some spots up here and around my cheek, and I was doing everything that I typically would to help fade them. I was putting on my skin creams and stuff, and typically those little marks always fade within like a month or 2, and these ones were just not going away. And I don't know why it took me so long to figure out that it was melasma, but I think what really made me notice it was ever since it's been summertime and I've been spending a lot of time outside, it made it a little bit darker, and I really noticed it here around my eye. And then I took a much closer look and realized it's actually like kind of all over my face very lightly, but it's more noticeable in some spots than others. When I thought I just had like these like leftover acne scars that just weren't fading and healing, I honestly thought that it was like, oh, all the nutrients that I'm consuming from fruits and vegetables that would help, you know, clear my skin, that's all going to the baby. So there's no, you know, like my skin is not going to heal as fast as it normally would, which now I'm just like, nope, it was just pregnancy melasma. And to be honest, I'm not concerned with it. It actually doesn't bother me. I'm surprised that it doesn't bother me. And I just think knowing that it's hormonal and that once you give birth, it's supposed to clear up on its own. So I don't really care. I actually kind of like this little part here because it almost reminds me of freckles, and I feel like freckles are really cute. So I was kind of like excited to see those little spots, but yeah. So that's something that can happen to your skin. So throughout the pregnancy, especially in the 1st trimester, I was getting a lot of these cravings. In this last trimester, not so much. I feel like that's pretty much done. But because it is summertime, I have been wanting just like ice cold, refreshing things. And the one thing I would say that I actually have been craving a lot is fresh fruit or frozen fruit. And I'm also putting ice in my water. So I think this is more to do with just the heat and dealing with that, because my body temperature has never been so high. We put the air conditioning on and my husband is freezing cold, and to me, I'm like, I don't feel it. Like, is it even on? The next big adjustment about the third trimester for me was just like the reduced mobility and just how much harder it is to do things like bend over and, you know, like climb into bed or climb out of bed. That was actually really tough for me mentally to kind of like get around this obstacle of like, you can't do what you did before. So things like when you're in the shower and you drop your bar of soap, it's like the worst thing in the world. It is so annoying, and it happens all the time, because the second thing is that I am just so much more clumsy. And I think that's a very common thing about pregnancy, is your brain is just like, I'm doing so many other things right now. I don't have time to like figure out where things are when you're walking. So I bump into things a lot. I have dropped and broken like several plates, glasses, just things. I drop things all the time. And then I was going for walks really frequently in my second trimester, and then my third trimester hit, and it's actually been really challenging to go for a walk. Like, I have to stop all the time, and she starts moving and it's uncomfortable. Then you have to use the washroom every 5 seconds, and then you get really hot easily and out of breath. And so that has just been so weird to me, because I've always been an active person, and yeah, just being like physically limited and losing that independence, like always having to ask for help to reach things or to just pick things up and do things around the house. That's just all so new to me. So the one thing that has actually really helped, this is my one little tip in terms of mobility, sort of, but more so just comfort, is I have started wearing my Birkenstock sandals in the house. Like, I barely walk barefoot anymore, and that has really helped in terms of like managing back pain and hip pain and just comfort. So either invest in a pair of those if you don't have them, I highly recommend, or just honestly, if I didn't have Birkenstocks, I would probably be wearing like my comfiest pair of running shoes, just something with really good support. I mean, our bodies are not used to so much weight, especially at the front. So I feel like having really good shoes inside and just like always having that support has really helped in terms of getting around. But you can't do anything about this, unfortunately. Let's talk about how emotional you get in the third trimester. I don't know, like I should have seen this coming, but it is like intense. So I can cry, like I cry like almost every single day. Things that I will just like a meme or, you know, like a picture of something that will trigger me, like I am bawling and like I can't shake it. So that's been really crazy. Your hormones are just insane. So yeah, I definitely feel a lot more emotional, and something that goes hand in hand with that is like my nurturing instinct is like at such an all-time high. So I've really noticed this with like our dog Charlie. I am so much more like motherly towards him, and yeah, I feel that nurturing motherly instinct like really strongly right now. So I mean, that's a great thing. Okay, and the last few symptoms that I'm going to talk about are the really not fun ones that have popped up in this third trimester. So the first one, I had to write it down because it's kind of a funny name. So this is the pelvic pain that you can experience. It's called SPD for short, or symphysis pubis dysfunction. And it's basically when the joints in your pelvis are really stiff, or that they are not moving evenly, like whether it's in the front or the back, like it's like misaligned. And wow. That is a whole new type of pain I didn't know existed. I'm actually very lucky that I have only had it for, I'd say, about 2 weeks straight, where it was really consistent, not going away. So basically how it hit me would be that I would be sitting down like in a chair, and then you want to get up, and the second you stand up, you feel this like lightning pain in your pelvis, and you can't move until it kind of like eases up on you. And if you try to move either leg forward to start walking, it's so painful. So literally I would have to like slowly get up, stand for, I'm not even kidding, like 2-3 minutes until things kind of like adjusted, and then try walking really slowly. And typically like the pain would be there for a while, so you'd be walking, like moving each leg was really painful. I would almost like use my arms and hands to like drag my leg forward, drag the next leg forward just to like get going. And yeah, this was like horrible, not fun at all. The belly band is supposed to help with that, so that's when I was like really wearing it all the time. But I just think when things are misaligned, there's not much you can do about it. But luckily it kind of sorted itself out, so I do not have it like I did before. It'll just like randomly strike if I've been like sitting too long. The other thing that can be really painful is when the baby moves. Before, our babies were a lot smaller, and now they are much bigger. They're taking up like the entire uterus, and so sometimes when she's like rolling around and whether she's like punching or kicking, it can get really painful. And I will have to literally sit down, and sometimes it's like an hour straight of like just like cringing and holding your stomach, and you're just getting like beaten up in the inside. At the same time, it's like weirdly amazing because you're like, there is a baby in there, it is moving, it's alive, this is crazy, but you're just like in pain at the same time. Then I have been experiencing some heartburn, which is really not fun. I've never gotten heartburn in my life until now. It's not fun. It's just that burning sensation in your throat. And I heard that exercising can help with it. For some reason, every time I exercise or go for a walk, who am I kidding? I don't exercise. My exercise is going for a walk, which is like walking like a snail for a very short period of time. That's pretty much all I'm capable of right now, but it's supposed to help. For me, it like triggers it. I don't know. After a walk, I just start feeling the burn right away. And I've started developing back pain, whether it's like upper back, lower back. It's either from sleeping or literally I'll just start walking to go on a walk and then it hits you. And yeah, it's just the weight of the belly and weight gain, and it's hard on the back. And lastly, just tiredness. The first trimester is exhausting, and that kind of comes back into your third trimester. I would say not as extremely, but there was this kind of like abrupt change where like 1 week I was like still good, had lots of energy, and then the following week it just all changed. And I find that like in the mornings I'm really good, and just by like early afternoon I have to stop and like my day is done. Also, because you are getting up so frequently in the night, you know, your sleep is disrupted. I feel like this is like really cruel because like that's gonna happen a lot when the baby comes. So it'd be really nice to like get good sleep now, but no, it's just, you know, like, here you go, this is what's waiting for you. You might as well just stop sleeping now. Okay, I feel like I need to wrap this up because I feel like this video is already probably so long. Quickly going into labor, that whole thing. Mentally, I am not gonna lie, I am very scared, very nervous, super anxious about it right now. I have not thought about labor like my entire pregnancy up until this past month. And I've actually realized that it's not even like the labor itself, because I'm actually not scared of the whole birth process, really. I'm like really happy to know I'll be in good hands at the hospital. That actually provides me with so much comfort knowing that like once I'm in the hospital, like everyone's gonna know what they're doing, and I just have to, you know, listen to them and it'll all be great. That's what I'm telling myself. But I am more so terrified of bringing a newborn home and having to care for a newborn. Things that we've been doing to prepare for that obviously are prenatal classes. That has been amazing, and Of course, that gives us a lot more confidence and knowledge. The more you know, the better. I think it's just more than anything, it's just the fear of the unknown, because you don't know when you're gonna go into labor. You don't know how it's gonna happen. Everyone's labor stories are so different, and you don't know how long it's gonna be. You know, my plan is to give birth naturally unmedicated, but you know, you can have a plan, but that doesn't really mean anything because you don't know what's gonna happen. Especially as a first-time mom and a first baby, it's like you don't know. As much as you read and you talk to people and you hear stories, you've never done it. You've never been there, so it's obviously scary. At least for me it is. So wish me luck, guys. I hope everything goes smoothly, and I'm really banking on her coming like on or after her due date. I just need these last, you know, like few moments to kind of like just try to relax a bit. So I really hope it's, you know, July 12th or after. That's totally cool. So we'll see. Okay guys, if you guys have made it this far, thank you so much for listening and joining me on my pregnancy journey, which is so close to ending, but my journey through motherhood is gonna start soon. So I'm really excited for that. And I do have planned to do a birth story, birth vlog. It's gonna be a stressful time. So I don't know how we're gonna be filming when all this is happening. I just know I really wanna have this memory. So I'm gonna try my best to make a beautiful birth story. That'll likely be the first video that is ready once our baby girl is born. I'm also super excited to have you guys meet her, and I will reveal her name and the story behind her name, and you know, life as a new mom, life with a newborn. So I do have those videos planned. I do not know when we're going to get around to, you know, filming or editing. So I'm going to just say, bear with me. Going to be a couple to a few weeks for sure. It's gonna be a crazy time. So I really appreciate you guys sticking with me and waiting for those videos to come. And yeah, this is it. Like, this is probably my final video, unless, you know, I'm 40 weeks plus and I still haven't given birth. Who knows? Maybe I'll make another video. I'll let you guys know what's going on, but this could very well be it. So again, thank you so much for listening and following along, and subscribe if you haven't already done so. Ring the bell so that you are aware when that next video comes out. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys soon. Bye.